it's Emmy. Welcome back. This week I'm going to be sharing some sketchbooks. I finished 2 of them the other day, and so I figured I would share them. The first one is a handbook watercolor journal, and it's made by Speedball. I really like this one. Alright, this first page, I think I colored blobs and then drew little bug shapes over them. I finished this one in the last video I made. I made like a watercolor, kind of rainbow color background and drew over it with pens. This is a like quilt pattern I was playing with. Like a watercolor background with like a fish. I don't remember if I did this in a video or not. I've done several things like this though. Alright, this I was playing with an idea for my DIY blog and just kind of getting the colors right for that. For these, I was just playing with how watercolors flow into each other in circle shapes. There's probably a few of these where I was just drawing lily pads. For these, I don't remember what I was doing, but it's a goose and a mushroom. I think I was experimenting with painting with backgrounds. And on this one, I think I was playing with like negative space. All right, and these I was playing with dropping metallics into wet watercolor, and it was super fun. Same with here. Just a weird colored face. I don't normally draw people, so it's very weird. There's probably lots of alligators. I live in Florida and I'm kind of obsessed with them. In this one, I was playing with a snake shape. Blobs to kitty cats. And just layering watercolor. I did letters and numbers. It's just random ones. There's probably a lot of these too. Sardines. I was obsessed there for a bit. This one has metallic in it, and it's watercolor and colored pencil. This one, I wanted to play with kind of bright watercolor background with putting, I think it's watercolor on top and colored pencil. And I kind of used negative space for these and filled it in. Here's more sardines. These are super fun to paint because they combine lettering and packaging and fish. And I like to try to make them not colors that you would actually see. And I like to play with the metallics and try to make them like shiny with color. All right, these I was working on something that I never finished. But I wanted to add more lettering to my portfolio, and so I was just kind of playing around with this concept. I did make a bigger one of these, but it was impossible to scan in because I did the background. And I think on these I did ink backgrounds and painted over them. All right, these are my ugly fishermen. I was obsessed with painting them for a bit. They're super fun because I like to make their noses really big and like age spots and make them kind of sunburned and rugged. And they are very ugly, but I love them. Okay, the next 2 are from Amaryllis. I'll leave I don't see it on right now. It's she's a YouTuber and Skillshare teacher. Her name's Amaryllis, and she has a book on painting animals. I'll leave a link. This is my very bad deer and my very bad rooster. But these were super fun to paint. I just wanted to paint one day and couldn't really think of what to paint, so I got that book out. A weird fish. a donut. I really like the way the donut turned out. It's a lot more, it's a lot better than most of what I paint, to be honest. All right, some butterflies, some blobs. I don't remember if I did this in a video. I think I did. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. Some stripes. I just really enjoy playing with different stripes and color combinations. All right, and this one is just kind of a pattern where I was using mostly teals and greens and dropping in, I think it's brown, like kind of rusty brown colors. This, I think, is a Skillshare class. You know, I think it's an Amanda Evanson class, and it's painting glasses on top of each other and playing with the transparencies. All right, on these, I was just trying to work out a quilting pattern for a pillow, which I still have not made. And this is the rest of it. And on this one, I used a Sharpie marker on the other side, so it's bleeding through. So I did this in a video. And this one. Yeah, I did a few of these in videos. Triads, I really like playing with those. More stuff from videos. Oranges, I do love the way this turned out. I like the color combination. And then another fish scene. It's very busy. Playing with grids and metallics, just kind of playing with layering color and patterns and inks. I was obsessed with painting these flowers for a bit. This might have been for the video on YouTube, or it might have just been a practice one. These are shapes that I added pencil details to. This one was a piece that I didn't like, so I painted over it and then added black watercolor and ink over it. And I really love how bold that pink is. Just some lettering that I was doing. I don't really like the color scheme, but it's fine. Yeah, and I think I've done these on videos. Did this one in a video. It's my April spread. And I did these in the video too. All right, and these are, favorite art supplies. So that was a video also. All right, that's that sketchbook. And here's this one. This one is a moleskin. And I started this one in probably 2019, so it's taken me a while. It's a watercolor sketchbook, and this is probably my favorite sketchbook type. They're pretty affordable. So I have a swatch page. I guess I had bought some pencils and some markers. And then I did these. This is probably some of the nicest art you'll see. I was drawing birds. I was on vacation and it was cold and rainy, so I sat inside and drew birds and added a little bit of watercolor to them. Some flowers. And more birds. All right, and then from here, I'm swatching some paint that I bought. So I bought some Schmincke, the Deep Sea package of little tubes. I honestly don't use these that much. And then I bought some Roman Schmal at one point. And I use these a lot. There's a few of these colors that I really love. I'll do a video on it at some point if you're interested. But the Misty Morning is one of my favorite. It's just like the perfect color to me. I like to water it down and use it for shadows. And here's some little pebbles. I was watching some Natasha Newton and was inspired by that. I'm not sure what I was doing here. I think I was trying to make pastels. I'm not sure. But I do love all the texture. These are really granulating colors and color separating. So yeah, this was fun. I was experimenting with a stamp I bought, but the stamp is very, I guess it's a bad stamp because it will not stamp the whole direction. And I added watercolor to it, and that was pretty fun. This is a cloud that I painted with, I think it's watercolor and gouache. A weird watercolor. No, I think this is Dr. P.H. Martin and maybe ink. I'm not sure. With pencil. Just some very funky flower bouquets. These are some inks that I bought in May of 2020, I think 2022. I think I had filmed this but never ended up posting it. But I bought ink like that you use in fountain pens, and these are super fun to paint with, but they are very fugitive, so they will fade in the sun. And then I bought some watercolors and some ink. And then these are soft body acrylics. And I still use these colors almost every day. That's funny. All right. I think I was working on trying to draw a fox and trying to get the color right. I think I was doing it digitally. I'm just trying to play with colors. And then I worked on little houses and just kind of played with coloring and details. And here's some more. And I started doing these on little 6" by 6" sheets of paper, but they took so long to finish because I was meticulously drawing everything out. They're perfect lines and not wonky like this, but it was really fun, and the ones I finished did turn out really cute. I was playing with ink, acrylic ink in the background, and probably black ink on top. And here's some more triads. And I did quite a few. I really love this one with this mummy transparent red and the green gold and the green blue. These are Roman Schmal colors. They're really fun. All right, on these I was playing with fruit, and I think I did these with gouache on watercolor backgrounds. Just kind of trying to figure out the colors that I like. And I did more, but I really think this color is gross. I would like it with something else, but not that. I did some mushrooms, kind of similar concept, but I did watercolor on top. And don't love it. On these, this was a version of something I'd painted in another sketchbook. And the background is the Ecoline Pale Red, which I really, really love. Just painting different hexagon shapes and different colors. I think that I did it wrong, and that's why I stopped painting. Some lettering. I don't love the colors. I was just doing it randomly, and I would love to do it again, but with a tighter color palette. All right, this I did the watercolor background first, and then, like, who knows how long later, I went back and added details with gouache. Some moons and suns. This might have been a Skillshare video or something. And then I was playing with strawberries on top of watercolor leaf shapes. And on this one, I just painted like a green background, so I went back and added more strawberries and flower shapes. I really like this one. All right. At one point, I was going to do a series of art. I wanted to do fruit on a colored background, and so I was kind of playing with the color combinations and how it would look all together. And then I was playing with watercolor and watercolor, like watercolor, gouache, and ink combinations to see how I like it the best. And I never figured out which one I like the best. Each one is pretty good on its own in a way. I mean, I don't love that, but that's mainly because the colors are wrong. This was a Skillshare class. I'm pretty sure it was another Amaryllis class, but it was super fun. I was playing with transparencies of glass and adding white details on top. All right, and this I did for a blog post where I'm just playing with style first off. So lines versus no lines, and angular versus round, varied coloration, smooth color. This one was a jellyfish. It has metallic in it. And I think at that time I was just having a lot of fun with painting backgrounds, very kind of loosely around stuff. These, it's a moon with like a colored background. I don't remember what I was trying to do, but I added metallic in these too. But it was fun. This is for, I think it was for a blog post where I did gouache Valentine's cards, and I was trying to play with coloring and layout and figuring that out. Here's some more geese where I'm playing with negative space. And I think on that one I drew it out first, and on that one I did not, and just tried to make it work. And they're both fun. Here's some more lily pads. And more hexagons with color, gold metallics dropped in. And I really love the way these turned out. They're super fun. All right, I did this one on the last video. And this is coffee cups that I drew out of my brain. And just layered color, layered like one color on top of each other. Yeah, this one, it was plates, and then I added ink and colored pencil details. This one I was playing with the metallics again. I never quite finished it, but it's interesting. I like the metallic in it. This is more layering one color. I really enjoy just weird doodle pages. Okay, on this one, I had an idea in my head for an alligator painting, and I was trying to figure out if I wanted to do watercolor and watercolor or watercolor and gouache, and how I would do it. And I never figured that out either, so they just live in my sketchbook now. And maybe one day I'll revisit. These guys are so funny because they don't have any teeth. But they're so, I just love like stupid looking alligators. It was so fun. On these, I was doing like a watercolor background with fish again and just having a lot of fun. That guy is super happy. He's living his best life. And that one, they both look like they're wearing lipstick. So they make me laugh. Look at how much I've used this sketchbook. I've beat it up. On this one, I was trying out a hot pink underpainting with watercolor to see if I liked it, and I don't like it, but it was fun to do. Another dumb fish. I think sometimes when I don't know what to paint, I'll paint the same thing over and over and over again just because it's fun, and all these little scales take so much time that it just relaxes me. And here's another There's like 3 in this sketchbook alone. Lily pads with a dark background. I saw a wallpaper with like a similar pattern, so I just wanted to play with painting out that pattern with like a really limited colors palette, and it was a lot of fun. All right, this one, I started out doing like the 6 grids, and that you like draw out a square and you add stuff to it, and then I left the paint dry and walked off and came back to it and like added patterns later on, and I didn't like it. So I came back and added little color backgrounds to make it more like a quilt, and discovered that I really like this color combination. So although this isn't the coolest piece ever, the color combination continues to inspire me. All right, on this one, I did this recently where I drew little faces on little kind of pebble shapes. I think I did these in videos too, so it's like a blobby color background, and I drew flowers on it. Blobs with leaves. Oh yeah, I did all these, and this is like a scribble that I colored in with paint. Doodles. My clip was right here. Little like planet shapes that I filled in with color and dropped little dots in. These are grids that I drew in. Here's my fun flowers that I did for a video. Really love this. Every time I see it, it makes me happy. This is a color background where I like added little squares and rectangles, and it was super fun. Then I added stars and moons to this one with like a pink and purple watercolor background. This one, I had this last piece of paper is like just normal paper. It's not watercolor paper. So I added flowers with markers, like watercolor markers and Tombows, and then drew on top of them with pen. And the same thing here, but I used a tighter color scheme, and that was super fun. So I didn't want to let these pages go to waste, so I made them fun too. So those are 2 sketchbooks that I did. They probably took about, well, the one took about 5 years to finish, just because I work on several sketchbooks at a time. And so I feel like this one didn't take as long. It probably took about 3 years. So those are my sketchbooks. I hope you enjoyed watching. Thanks. Be sure to like and subscribe.